Welcome back to the last segment of Becoming Led Zeppelin All Access. I'm Karen Dalessandro. The group did 4 U.S. and 4 U.K. tours in 1969. Amazingly, they dropped their second album, Led Zeppelin II, in October of that same year, a mere 10 months after their debut. Led Zeppelin II went on to become the group's first #1 album in the United States and England. Here's Jimmy Page.
If we look at the recording process of Led Zeppelin II, we began the recordings in Olympic Studios at Barnes. Olympic Studios was a studio where the Rolling Stones had recorded, and we'd recorded our first album there, so it was good to go back there. On that point, it was an engineer called George Scamps, and he did Whole Lot of Love, and he did What Is and What Should Would Never Be. So those wasn't a bad start to kick off this album, to have Whole Lot of Love and What Is and What Should Never Be. But the rest of the LP started to then be recorded while we were in America, studios in New York. We did overdubs on Whole Lot of Love in Los Angeles. I mean, the whole thing was really moving. And we came back to do Living, Loving Maid and Thank You. We recorded it in Willesden. So this album really traveled.
If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. When mountains crumble to the sea, there will still be you and me. Kind of woman, I give you my all. Kind of woman, nothing more. Little drops of rain, whisper of the pain, tears of love lost in the days gone by. My love is strong, here there is no wrong. Together we shall go until we die. My inspiration's what you are to me. Inspiration, look, see. And so today my world, it smiles. Your hand in mine, we walk the miles. Thanks to you, it will be done. For you to me are the only one. All right, yeah. Happiness, no more be sad. Happiness, I'm glad. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. Mountains crumble to the sea, there will still be you and me.
Thank you. Gorgeous ballad off Led Zeppelin 2. Jimmy Page just talked about Zeppelin starting the second album at Olympic Studios in London, but recording a lot of it while touring America. How did the band manage to write and record such monumental and influential music while touring at the same time? John Paul Jones explains.
I have no idea. I really have no idea, because I'm, again, looking back on the track lists and then trying to work out where we did this stuff of lineup for credits. You start thinking, where did we do this one? And it was done on the road. You know, we would come into a town and, we got like 3 hours before the gig, let's find a studio. And it was done in hundreds of studios all over the world.
What I like about that, in retrospect, and I probably wouldn't have said so at the time, was that there was a pressure to get a real good shape to these songs from my angle to complement the great musical bed work that was already there. So if we knew that in a couple of days' time we were going to be back in the studio again, I would really have to apply myself in what small amounts of time between travelling and touring to nuance something like Ramble On, which, apart from melodically, I mean, the lyrical content for a 21-year-old guy travelling through time in this sort of amazing rocket ship was quite a challenge, but it was a good challenge, and it was good for me that that was the case. And I've always really enjoyed the idea of putting myself and my musicians in the last 30-odd years in the same place. Time restraints create challenges, create some kind of response that you wouldn't get if it was an easygoing situation. So I like that, and I enjoyed that. So it was really good. As far as vocals are concerned, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world if I couldn't sing it. I could do it another time, but I still had to shape it, my side of the job.
Leaves are falling all around. Time I was on my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged for such a pleasant stay. But now it's time for me to go. The autumn moonlight's my way. But now I smell the rain, and with it pain, and it's heading my way. Sometimes I grow so tired, but I know I've got one thing I got to do. I ramble on, and now the time is now. Sing my song, I'm going round the world, I gotta find my girl on my way. Been this way 10 years to the day. Ramble on, find the queen of all my dreams. Got no time for spreading news. The time has come to be gone. And though our health we drank 1,000 times, it's time to ramble on. But Gollum, the evil one, crept up and slipped away with her, yeah. And ain't nothing I can do now. I guess I'll keep on rambling. I'm gonna
with lyrics written by a 21-year-old Robert Plant, Led Zeppelin's Ramble On. Sadly, that is the last song we have time for in our Becoming Led Zeppelin feature. But before we go, let's hear some final comments from the band. First up, Robert Plant.
How do I see Led Zeppelin today? I see it as a period of my life that was absolutely captivating. The excitement and the capacity to take what limited skills and craft I'd got and to find this kind of bed of this small nest of musical style and quality and energy that just happened to make it work for my bit too. But you do what you do. You contribute, you try. Your contribution is almost like some kind of diagonal input. It kind of meets the music and then blends and melds with the music to become the song. So I look upon it as a time of great romance, of me coming of age as a guy and as an adult, coming from kind of bolshy adolescence into a very tough, cohesive, and at least initially, into a strong combination of guys which really took me to places I never even imagined. It drew so much potential out of me that I didn't know I had. Because in all the work prior to that, I'd always been way ahead of everybody else. And in Zeppelin, I was just part of it. You know, I could never control it or contain it. And that was the great thing about it. That's why it was so satisfying when it was what it was.
And it was musical greatness. Becoming Led Zeppelin, now available on pay-per-view and various streaming platforms after its record-setting box office run in IMAX theaters. Every week, catch Get the Let Out every weeknight at 6:30 on the Valley's classic rock station, 100.7 KSLX, featuring a 3-song set from the band.
Hi, this is Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin.
Hi, this is Robert Plant.
Hi, this is John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin.
And I'm Karen Dalessandro on 100.7 KSLX.